All fixie stuff.
"16-bit power, arcade quality graphics, and an unbeatable selection of titles. We'll show you what's available now and sneak previews of what's coming."
Back in 1990, I didn't know much about the PC Engine or TurboGrafx as it was known in the US. In all honesty, I still don't. Back then it was a vague concept, a mystical super machine that was whispered about in the back pages of magazines where the console importers advertised. Which is why I was so intrigued to receive a core graphics system a couple of years back, along with a turbo EverDrive and an RGB booster that improved the picture on modern televisions. I was immediately struck by the depth and quality of the games I was finding on the PC Engine. It didn't feel like an 8-bit machine with a 16-bit graphics processor, it felt like I was playing games straight from the arcade. I was mining gaming gems, digging up gaming gold and finding gaming classics almost daily. I was pretty impressed with the PC Engine, to put it mildly. Then disaster struck. I found out that there were PC Engine CD-ROM games. CD-ROM games that I simply couldn't play on my turbo EverDrive. Ouch. Of course, immediately I leapt onto eBay, where I found out that to play CD-ROM games would take a quite significant investment in hardware, and games, and RAM boosting hue cards. With that in mind, when I was offered the chance to review the Super SD System 3 card by TerraOnion, I leapt at the opportunity. The Super SD System 3 is an add-on device compatible with PC Engine, Core Grafx, Core Grafx 2 and Super Grafx systems. Like the Turbo EverDrive, it allows you to play hue card games, but in addition it also emulates a CD-ROM drive. 2 MB of extra RAM are provided by arcade card emulation. Let's get set up. First we need a Sega Master System 2 compatible video cable. Now let's plug in the 9V DC jack. For this review I ordered a 128GB SanDisk microSD card. The manual states that the card must be formatted in either FAT32 or exFAT, which the card was already formatted with on arrival. All that was left was moving across some files. First of all, the manual stated that you must have a BIOS folder with the appropriate CD-ROM system BIOS dumps in the root of the SD card. A short Google and the required files were found. The manual also states that you can have up to 10 BIOS files in the folder. I'm not entirely sure what different files do other than regions, but a quick forum search told me in 99% of cases you only need one of the files. I placed all of my hue card images into sorted folders and then into subfolders, because that's how rock and roll I really am. All joking aside, I like this technique because it makes it much easier to find games when you're looking for them, especially if you sort by country as I have. CD-ROM images need to be separated into their own separate folders, and selecting that folder will start the game. Looking at the supplied manual, it states that the Super SD System 3 is compatible with any available PC Engine ROM format, and goes on to list bin and queue and PCE files. Time to test. You toggle between hue card and CD-ROM by pressing the select button. Pressing start on the joypad either selects the directory or starts the game. The first time you start a CD-ROM image, you'll be asked to select the BIOS. We select the Super CD-ROM System 3 here. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's go back and look at that menu. Pressing the 2 button takes you into the options. Here you'll find an option to boot directly back into the last game you were playing upon power up. I found this a bit annoying. Enable in-game trigger means pressing start and select for a short press takes you to the BIOS screen, and a long press takes you back to the beginning of the menu. There are some issues, however. As you can see with Dragon Spirit, it just constantly resets. I found a few more problems, so I left this option off. Skip CD-ROM press run simply means that you don't see this screen here and you don't have to press the run button. Per game backup RAM is a handy dandy feature, which means it saves a file for each game you play, which keeps your saves separate from each other. The Enable Arcade Card option increases compatibility for the Super CD-ROM² system and the Arcade CD-ROM² system by increasing the RAM from 64K to a whopping 2 MB. Enable HuCard Dumper does exactly what you think it does. CD block volume allows you to raise or lower the emulated CD audio, while Select CD-ROM system card allows you to change the CD BIOS that we chose earlier. Selecting version shows you the various versions of components within the machine. But enough of this technical talk, let's get to the games. And the games play admirably. Armed only with a harpoon gun, you must kill a rubber ball that's out to kill you. It's Pang. Rescue a girlfriend who gets kidnapped almost as often as Princess Peach in Double Dragon 2: The Revenge. Tree-based violence has never been so much fun. It's Poppin' Magic. Forgotten Worlds, the game where things can come at you from all directions and usually will. I think you need a special controller for this, but I suck at it anyway. I wanted to talk a little bit about visual noise and noise in the audio stream. My first cable was pretty noisy with sparkly images, but the second cable I bought from Retro Gaming Cables, a Pack-a-Punch, really improved the situation, and I wanted to just show you. So here's some footage. On the left is the old cable, on the right is a new Pack-a-Punch cable. I didn't bother to frame them exactly frame to frame, but if you look on the left there's lots of noise, and if you look on the right there's hardly any. Here you can see lots of noise in the grey gauntlet holding the sword. And in this bitmap, which I captured from each file, you can see the noise in the areas of colour is very prevalent. And back to our old friend the grey gauntlet, first the old cable, and now the clear winner, the Pack-a-Punch Pro. The difference in audio and video capture is like night and day, and it makes the Pack-a-Punch Pro cable a really good investment. As you can see, my capture system isn't exactly professional, it's very ad hoc. I'm not a streamer. Well, yet. Sound effects and CD audio emulation seem pretty good to me, but that being said, I didn't have a lot of experience with the games back in the day. It seems to rock from my point of view, but if it sounds inaccurate then I'm sure you can tell me in the comments section below. This soundtrack also had the strangest effect on Mrs. Fix's stuff, who started telling me little known scientific facts like the bins can't take themselves out and this washing up won't do itself. So, what's the verdict? Well, I've spent a lot of time with this unit, and my first experiences when I was using the cheap old cable were less than satisfactory. After I got the Pack-a-Punch Pro cable, I have to say the unit really came into its own. Even with the old cable, I thought it was a fantastic device, with some slightly distracting screen noise and audio noise, but with the new cable, I just think it's pretty brilliant. Final verdict, if you can, get one. It opens up a world of possibilities for your PC engine. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please smash that like button and subscribe to get your fix. Perhaps watch one of these other videos. Bye!